My name is Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I worked for IRS over a decade. Me and my M&M man, who's the power in me, the brain trust, want to talk to you today about the 433F, the 433F financial statement. And as a former IRS agent, there's special tips and things you need to be aware of when you're giving IRS that form. I've looked over thousands of these forms. The 433A, which is the longer version, the 433B, which is the business version. So what do you need to know about this? This form usually goes to the Atlanta Service Center. So what are the service centers like? Well, there's different call centers. When you call the Internal Revenue Service, you call a 1-800 number. That's a switching station. It goes to any IRS kind of boiler room operation, collection, or whatever you're going to call them for, just some giant offices. And whoever's there picks up. You can call 2 days and you'll get two different people all over the country. Anyway, from California to Florida, someone is just going to pick up which division, and they're staffing for that. These people are really trained to evaluate a 433F, and they're really looking at two things that you really need to know. The first is that what assets do you have, or what assets can you liquidate? And the second one is they're looking at your income to expense ratio. And here's where I give you the really big caution that you need to know about this. Most people are completely unaware that IRS has what's called the national, local, and regional standard that they use. So when IRS is looking at that financial statement, they're looking at your income and they're looking at your expenses. And there's a chart for every county in the United States. So I'm in South Florida, I'm in Fort Lauderdale, so IRS will allow us in this area 1821 for housing and utilities. So IRS already pre-calculates that in there. Food and clothing is a given at per person of 720. So these charts vary from year to year. So if you're calling IRS and you're saying, I want a payment agreement, or I have a hardship, I can't pay, IRS is going to pull the national standard charts to make sure you're living within your means. You can go to irs.gov and you can look up the localized, regional, and standards that they use on that 433A. So as an agent, if I'm looking at your 433A, I want to make sure it makes sense. I want to make sure, are you have too many assets? Can you have money in your bank account, IRA or pension, that you can pay the tax? And then I want to make sure you're living within the means that the government allows. By the way, those national standards, IRS didn't come up with them. They're used. They came out by the Department of Labor, and they're used also in bankruptcy court. Trustees use them in Chapter 7s and 11s and 13s and every chapter in the book. So I just want you to be aware. You should have someone looked at 433A over. Once you give that to IRS and the documentation they want, if it's not what they want, you can be looking at a big payment agreement to IRS and you'll have a really bad hair day. Thank you for listening. I always appreciate you.